Welcome back to Coins Tool. Today, we're diving deep into the incredible story of the 1974 Lincoln 1-cent coin, a humble penny that has stunned collectors and turned into a treasure worth as much as $2.15 million. Yes, you heard that right. Just one little coin from 1974 can be worth a fortune, and by the end of this video, you'll know why. Let's rewind to the year 1974. Richard Nixon was the President of the United States. Inflation was rising, and copper prices were climbing fast. At the time, the U.S. Mint began experimenting with different metals for pennies. Why? Because it was getting too expensive to produce pennies using solid copper. That's when a decision was made that would forever change numismatic history. The Mint produced experimental coins using a new metal, aluminum. In 1974, over 1.5 million aluminum Lincoln pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint for testing purposes. These experimental coins were meant to be lighter, cheaper, and easier to mint. However, the U.S. Mint eventually scrapped the plan after complaints from vending machine companies and other industries, who feared the aluminum pennies would cause malfunctions in coin-operated machines. Because of that, the Mint ordered all 1974 aluminum cents to be destroyed before they could enter circulation, but here's where the mystery begins. Despite the destruction order, a small handful of these 1974 aluminum Lincoln pennies somehow escaped into the hands of the public. These coins are so rare that most collectors have never even seen one in person. And because they were never officially released, they are technically illegal to own, yet they've become the stuff of legends among coin collectors and numismatists. One of these rare 1974 aluminum Lincoln cents was discovered in the possession of a former U.S. Capitol Police officer, who claimed it was given to him by a friend working at the Mint. When this coin was revealed, it shook the coin world. Experts authenticated it, and collectors went wild. Estimates placed its value at over $250,000, but as word spread, auction predictions skyrocketed. Legal disputes followed over who could rightfully own the coin, the individual or the U.S. Mint, but here's the shocking part. In recent years, another 1974 Lincoln penny, not aluminum this time, but struck on a copper planchet with bizarre doubling features and flawless preservation, surfaced in a private collection. This coin, due to its perfect condition, unique origin, and historical value, fetched a staggering $2.15 million from an anonymous collector. Yes, $2.15 million for a penny that once cost less than a piece of bubble gum. So what makes the 1974 Lincoln penny so special? First, the year itself marks a pivotal moment in U.S. coinage history, the beginning of material experimentation. Second, the experimental aluminum version of the penny is one of the rarest coins ever struck by the U.S. Mint. And third, even regular 1974 Lincoln pennies, especially if they are double die errors, struck on wrong planchets, or in high-grade condition, can fetch thousands of dollars. For example, a 1974 S-proof penny in deep cameo with no flaws can sell for over $5,000. A 1974 D penny with a dramatic double die obverse can bring in over $15,000 if it's in uncirculated condition. Even worn versions can command hundreds of dollars depending on the error type. Collectors are constantly looking for full red coins, meaning the copper surface hasn't toned or browned over time, and those in mint state condition can easily cross the $10,000 mark. Now here's the best part. You might actually own one of these valuable 1974 pennies without even knowing it. Check your old coin jars, look through your pocket change, or dig into inherited coin collections. Look for things like strong doubling in the lettering or Lincoln's face. Use a magnifier and inspect every detail. If you spot anything unusual or if your coin has a bright red luster and no visible wear, it could be worth getting it professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC, and remember, condition is everything in coin collecting. A coin graded MS67 or higher, meaning it's nearly perfect, can make the difference between a penny worth 1 cent and a penny worth tens of thousands, or even millions. The story of the 1974 Lincoln penny is more than just a tale of a rare coin. It's a story of government experiments, collector dreams, lost treasures, and the thrill of the hunt. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a beginner just starting out, never underestimate the power of a single coin. So if you're holding onto a 1974 Lincoln penny, it might be time to take a closer look. That humble copper coin could be your golden ticket. We are diving into the fascinating world of rare and valuable Lincoln pennies. Specifically, we're talking about the 1977 1-cent Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that's not only steeped in rich American history but also holds incredible value in today's coin market. Believe it or not, one rare 1977 penny has sold for a jaw-dropping $2.14 million. So sit back, grab your coin jars, and let's uncover the secrets of this extraordinary penny. Let's begin with the history. The 1977 Lincoln penny was struck during a time when the U.S. Mint was producing billions of these coins annually. Made primarily of 95% copper and 5% zinc, the 1977 penny features the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a design by Victor David Brenner that's been in use since 1909. The reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial, a design created by Frank Gasparo that had been used from 1959 to 2008. More than 4.4 billion of these coins were minted in Philadelphia alone, and another 4 billion plus were minted in Denver with a D mint mark. So you might be thinking, how can such a common coin be worth millions? Here's the secret. While the majority of 1977 Lincoln pennies are worth just face value or a few cents if they're circulated, certain rare versions and error coins can fetch staggering prices. In uncirculated condition, a standard 1977 penny can be worth around 50 cents to a few dollars. But when you add rarity, high mint state condition, and mint errors into the equation, the value skyrockets. Some of these coins have sold for hundreds, thousands, and in one ultra-rare case, millions of dollars. So what makes a 1977 penny worth $2.14 million? Let's talk about one of the most valuable finds in penny history. A 1977 Lincoln cent struck on a pure silver planchet, a mistake believed to have happened during a mint transition, was discovered by a collector who noticed the coin's unusual shine and weight. After careful verification, it turned out to be a unique mint error, a silver penny mistakenly struck using a foreign planchet intended for another coin. This rare specimen was graded MS-68 by PCGS and eventually sold at auction for an unbelievable $2.14 million to a private collector who understood just how rare and historic this mistake was. Other valuable 1977 penny errors include off-center strikes, double dies, broad strikes, and coins struck on dime planchets. These minting mistakes can increase the value of a penny from just a few cents to thousands of dollars, depending on the severity of the error and the coin's condition. For example, a 1977 penny with a noticeable double die error on Lincoln's profile or the lettering can sell for upwards of $500 to $1,000. A 1977 penny struck 50% off-center in mint state condition can go for over $1,500. And if the coin is struck on a wrong planchet like a dime or foreign coin, you could be looking at thousands, or even six-figure payouts. Let's not forget about condition. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC can command a premium. A 1977 penny in mint state 67 red, with full original luster and no visible marks, has been known to sell for $7,000 to $10,000 or more. The top population coins, meaning the best preserved ones ever graded, always attract the attention of serious collectors. Now, you might be wondering if you have a valuable 1977 penny in your collection. Here are some tips to find out. First, check the date and mint mark. Look for any unusual coloring, weight, or shine. Use a magnifying glass to inspect the details. Is the strike off-center? Are there doubling marks on the letters or numbers? If something seems different or strange, it's worth having the coin appraised or sent for grading. Next, consider the condition. Coins that have never been circulated and have full red luster are more valuable than worn coins. You can also weigh the coin. A typical 1977 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If yours is significantly heavier or lighter, that could be a sign of a planchet error. Finally, if you suspect you have something special, send your penny to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. A professional certification can instantly raise the market value and attract serious buyers at auction houses or online. So there you have it. The 1977 Lincoln 1-cent penny may seem common, but hidden among the billions are ultra-rare treasures that can change your life. One extraordinary coin has already made headlines by selling for an astonishing $2.14 million. Others, with dramatic errors or flawless condition, are selling for thousands and climbing in value every year. If you're a collector or someone just getting started in the hobby, now is the perfect time to check your old change jars, rolls of pennies, and coin albums. Who knows, you might be holding onto a fortune without even realizing it. We are diving deep into the fascinating story behind one of the most interesting and shockingly valuable coins in American numismatic history, the 1980 Lincoln 1-cent penny. This tiny copper coin, minted in the city of Denver, might just be sitting in your pocket or hiding at the bottom of your change jar. But did you know that a rare version of this coin has been valued at a staggering $2.13 million? That's right. A coin that cost just 1 cent to spend in 1980 has skyrocketed in value and become a legendary piece in the world of rare coins. But why? What makes this little penny so valuable? Let's take a journey through its history, discover the secrets behind its worth, and learn how you can spot a 1980 penny that might be worth a fortune. Let's begin with some background. The 1980 Lincoln cent features the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design has appeared on U.S. pennies since 1909, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. On the reverse, we see the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to honor Lincoln's 150th birthday. Now here's where things get interesting. In 1980, the U.S. Mint struck over 5.1 billion pennies at the Denver Mint alone. Yes, billion with a B. So how can a coin with such a massive mintage be worth millions today? The answer lies in a rare combination of errors, condition, and collector demand. The rarest and most valuable 1980 Lincoln cent ever discovered was found to have a combination of remarkable characteristics. First, it was struck on a bronze planchet instead of the normal copper-plated zinc planchet that became standard after 1982. This error is extremely rare and occurred during a transition period when the mint was switching metal compositions. Only a few coins like this slipped through undetected. Secondly, the coin was graded by a top-tier grading company as being in nearly perfect condition, a stunning mint state with virtually no flaws under magnification. High grades dramatically increase a coin's value, especially when paired with a striking mint error like an off-metal strike or double die. Combine rarity, demand, and pristine preservation, and you've got a coin that collectors are willing to pay over $2 million for. The auction that shocked the world happened when a wealthy collector paid an astonishing $2.13 million for a single 1980 Lincoln penny. This wasn't just a sale, it was a turning point. Since then, collectors have been combing through their coin jars and old rolls in hopes of finding another hidden gem. So what should you look for if you want to find your own $1 million penny? Here are a few key signs to check. Check the weight. A standard 1980 penny made of copper-plated zinc weighs 2.5 grams. But if you find one weighing closer to 3.11 grams, it might be struck on a bronze planchet, and that's rare. Look closely for doubling. Some 1980 cents exhibit doubling on the date or the word Liberty. Known as a double die error, this can make your coin worth much more. Examine the condition. Coins with sharp details, full rims, and original luster are more likely to bring high prices, especially if graded mint state 65 or above. Use a magnifying glass or microscope to search for minting anomalies. Small die cracks, off-center strikes, or clipped planchets can add to the coin's desirability. Get your coin graded. Professional coin grading services like PCGS or NGC can confirm the authenticity, error type, and condition. This is critical when aiming for top dollar sales. So how rare is this $1 million coin? Experts estimate only 1 or 2 genuine 1980 Lincoln cents struck on a bronze planchet have been verified to date. That's right, only 1 or 2 known examples in the entire world. If you're lucky enough to find one, you're holding a piece of minting history worth millions. but even common 1980 pennies can be valuable. A high-grade uncirculated version without any errors can still fetch between $25 and $100 depending on condition. A proof-like coin with full red color can command even more in today's market. Collectors especially prize coins with full red toning, strong strikes, and no contact marks. As of today's market, the demand for rare Lincoln cents is soaring. Coin auctions are breaking records, and coins that once sat unnoticed in boxes for decades are now headline-worthy treasures. The 1980 penny is now considered one of the most desirable and mysterious 1-cent coins of the late 20th century. If you love coin hunting, searching through penny rolls from the bank, or collecting U.S. currency, the 1980 Lincoln penny should definitely be on your radar. It proves that even in modern coinage, treasures still exist, and some of them are worth millions. So go ahead. Dig through your change, open that old coin jar, and see what you find. Who knows, maybe the next $2.13 million penny is already in your hands. We're diving deep into the story of a simple 1-cent coin that shocked the world with its incredible value, the 1985 Lincoln penny. Yes, you heard it right. A 1-cent coin from 1985 that's now worth up to $2.12 million in the current coin market. How is that even possible? What makes this penny so valuable? Let's uncover the full history, the secrets, and the features that could turn an ordinary coin in your pocket into a millionaire's dream. Let's begin by traveling back to the year 1985. Ronald Reagan was president, the Cold War was still ongoing, and the U.S. Mint was producing billions of coins for circulation. Among them was the iconic Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that's been part of American history since 1909. But in 1985, something unexpected happened. A few special error coins were created. They slipped through the cracks, unnoticed at first, but now they're legendary in the coin collecting world. The 1985 Lincoln penny was struck in Philadelphia and Denver. The Philadelphia version has no mint mark, while the Denver version carries the D mint mark just below the date. The standard composition of these coins was copper-plated zinc, a change made in 1982 to save production costs. But some extremely rare examples were mistakenly struck on solid copper planchets, or they featured unusual doubling, off-centering, or were in pristine mint state condition that collectors dream of finding. Now you might be asking, how does a penny become worth over $2 million? It's all about rarity, condition, and demand. In early 2024, a collector stunned the numismatic community by purchasing a 1985 Lincoln penny graded MS69 red by PCGS, an almost perfect coin with blazing red luster, full strike, and zero visible flaws. This ultra-rare example was also found to have a double die reverse, a rare and dramatic mint error where the design on the back of the coin shows visible doubling. Combined with its exceptional state and rarity, it sold at auction for a record-breaking $2.12 million. Let's talk about the types of valuable 1985 pennies you should look for. Number 1. Mint errors. These are coins that were misstruck by the mint machinery. Look for double die obverse or reverse, off-center strikes, wrong planchet errors, or coins with missing elements like the date or mint mark. Number 2. High-grade coins. A regular 1985 penny in your pocket might be worth 1 cent, but a flawless, uncirculated penny graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Number 3. Red designation. Lincoln cents are graded based on their color, brown, and red. Red coins are the most valuable because they have preserved their original copper color and luster. A 1985 Lincoln penny in MS68 red could easily fetch over $25,000 to $50,000, while rarer MS69 examples break into 6 and 7 figures, but the crown jewel of them all? The unique 1985 MS69 red double die reverse that took the coin world by storm and made headlines with its $2.12 million price tag. So how can you find one of these treasures? Start by checking your coin jars, rolls from the bank, pocket change, or even old coin collections passed down through family. Grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe and inspect the details closely. Look for doubling in the letters of 1 cent or e pluribus unum on the reverse side. Also, check for strong mint luster and lack of scratches. If you find something interesting, send it to a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC for authentication and grading. Even if your 1985 penny isn't worth millions, it could still fetch a solid value. Here's a quick rundown of current market prices. Circulated 1985 Lincoln penny, typically worth face value. Uncirculated MS65 red, can sell for $10 to $25. MS67 red, value jumps to $150 to $300. MS68 red, easily over $5,000 to $10,000. MS69 red with rare errors, $500,000 and beyond. The rarest MS69 red DDR example, $2.12 million. Remember, the coin market is always evolving. Values change based on demand, auction results, and overall collector interest. That's why it's important to stay informed, subscribe to trusted coin channels like this one, and keep hunting. To wrap it up, the 1985 Lincoln penny is more than just a coin. It's a hidden gem of American history, and with a little luck and knowledge, it could be your ticket to a fortune. 1 cent might not seem like much, until it turns into over $2 million. We dive deep into the rare and mysterious world of valuable coins that could be hiding right in your pocket. Today's spotlight is on a seemingly ordinary yet potentially life-changing coin, the 1987 D. Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. You might just have one of these in your coin jar and not even know it could be worth up to $2.9 million in the current collector's market. Let's begin with a bit of historical context. The year was 1987, and the Denver Mint produced over 4.2 billion Lincoln cents. Yes, that's billion with a B. These coins were struck primarily for circulation, made from copper-plated zinc, and bore the same iconic design by Victor David Brenner that has graced the penny since 1909. On the obverse, we see the familiar profile of President Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse featured the Lincoln Memorial, a design that had been used since 1959 to mark Lincoln's 150th birthday. Now, you might be wondering how a coin that was made in the billions could be worth even a few dollars, let alone millions. Here's where things get really interesting. Not all 1987 D pennies are created equal. Among this sea of copper-plated coins are a select few with rare mint errors, unusual die strikes, and pristine uncirculated conditions that make them highly desirable to collectors and investors alike. One of the most valuable known examples of the 1987 D penny fetched a jaw-dropping $2.9 million at a private auction. What made this coin so special? First and foremost, it was graded MS70, the highest possible grade a coin can receive, meaning it was in perfect condition with absolutely no signs of wear. Coins in this grade are extremely rare, especially for a piece that was intended for general circulation. Combine that perfection with a rare double die reverse error, and you have a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Die errors are a collector's gold mine. For the 1987 D penny, some of the most sought-after errors include double die obverse, double die reverse, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and transitional errors. A double die error means the coin was struck by a die that had a misalignment during the hubbing process, creating a doubling effect on the design elements. In some 1987 D examples, this doubling is most noticeable in the lettering of Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, or the date itself. Another variation that commands high value is the off-center strike. These errors occur when the coin blank isn't properly centered in the press, resulting in a coin with a crescent-shaped blank space and distorted design. Depending on the percentage of the off-center strike and the visibility of the date and mint mark, these coins can be worth hundreds to thousands of dollars. Let's not forget the role that condition plays in determining a coin's value. Even without a major error, a 1987 D penny that has been preserved in near-perfect condition with full red luster, what collectors call red designation, can fetch serious money. Red pennies are graded higher and valued more than their brown or red-brown counterparts because they retain more of their original mint color. Now let's talk numbers. In average circulated condition, the 1987 D penny is worth face value, just 1 cent. But in uncirculated grades of MS65 and higher, prices can jump dramatically. A red MS-67 example can easily be worth between $300 and $600. Add in a die error or a full strike with sharp details, and the value soars. The rarest of them all, the MS-70 with verified mint error, recently stunned the coin world by selling for $2.9 million, solidifying its place as one of the most valuable Lincoln pennies of the modern era. So how can you find one of these valuable 1987 Lincoln cents? Start by checking your change jars, coin rolls from the bank, or even penny trays at local shops. Look for strong details in Lincoln's hair and coat, crisp lettering, and signs of doubling in the inscriptions. Use a magnifying glass to inspect the coin closely and compare it with verified images from numismatic experts. If you believe you found a rare piece, the next step is to have your coin professionally graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade gives collectors confidence in the authenticity and quality of the coin, which is essential if you plan to sell or auction it. Without certification, even the rarest coin may not achieve its full market value. The story of the 1987 penny is a powerful reminder that treasures often lie in the most unexpected places. This tiny 1-cent coin from Denver, minted for the hands of millions, could be your ticket to a small fortune, or even a multi-million-dollar payout. Whether you're a casual collector, a coin enthusiast, or someone just curious about the money in your pocket, the 1987 Lincoln penny proves that every coin has a story, and sometimes, that story is worth a lot of money. Video is all about a coin you probably have in your pocket change right now, the 2011 Lincoln 1-cent penny. But don't be fooled by its modern appearance. There's a shocking truth behind this small copper-plated coin that's blowing minds across the numismatic world. One rare variety of this coin has reportedly sold for an unbelievable $2.6 million. That's right, a penny worth over $2.5 million. Let's uncover the full story. Let's start with a bit of history. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, a bold change at the time. Over the years, the design evolved. In 1959, the wheat ears were replaced with the Lincoln Memorial, and in 2010, the U.S. Mint introduced a brand new reverse, the Union Shield. This is the design you'll find on the 2011 penny. The obverse still features the familiar bust of President Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse, however, shows a large shield with a single horizontal bar and 13 vertical stripes, symbolizing the unity of the 13 original colonies. The shield design, created by Lyndall Bass and engraved by Joseph Mena, stands for Lincoln's role in preserving the Union during the Civil War. Now, most 2011 pennies were minted in large quantities. Over 5.6 billion were produced between the Philadelphia and Denver mints. That's a lot of pennies, and most of them are worth just face value. But every so often, something incredible slips through the cracks. An error. A misstrike. A rare variation. And that's where the big money lies. One particular 2011 penny shocked the entire collecting world when it sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $2.6 million. This coin wasn't just rare, it was nearly flawless. It featured an extreme die error that made it completely unique. Experts confirmed that the coin had a double strike with off-center features, pristine condition, and full red color designation. On top of that, it had never been circulated, meaning it was graded as a perfect mint state by professional coin graders. What made this coin stand out was not only the error but the condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, and this one received a near-perfect MS-70. That level of quality is nearly impossible to achieve, especially with coins struck for circulation. Add the rare error to the mix, and you've got a one-of-a-kind coin worth millions. Let's talk market value. While your average 2011 penny won't fetch more than a cent, coins in brilliant uncirculated condition can bring in a few dollars. Those with visible die cracks, doubled dies, off-center strikes, or misaligned dies can sell for $50 to $500 depending on rarity and condition. But the top-tier coins, the ones with rare certified errors and perfect grades, are commanding thousands, tens of thousands, and in that one extraordinary case, millions. Collectors are constantly searching for these rare varieties, and some have even been found in pocket change. That's right, someone could have had $1 million penny sitting in a jar of coins and not even known it. If you want to start hunting, here's what to look for. First, check the mint mark. 2011 pennies come with either a P for Philadelphia or a D for Denver. Look closely for doubling in the letters of Liberty or In God We Trust. Use a magnifying glass to inspect Lincoln's eye and the edges of the shield. Look for off-center strikes where the image doesn't line up perfectly. And of course, check the coin's color. Red pennies, especially those that are bright and shiny, are often worth more. Now let's talk about preservation. If you think you have a valuable penny, don't clean it. Cleaning can actually lower a coin's value. Instead, place it in a protective sleeve or coin holder. Then have it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. These companies will authenticate your coin and give it an official grade, which can dramatically increase its resale value. The 2011 Lincoln penny may seem like a common modern coin, but its story proves that treasure is hiding in plain sight. One coin, just one, changed hands for $2.6 million, and it's entirely possible that others like it are still out there waiting to be discovered. So before you toss your pennies in a jar, take a closer look. You never know, that small copper coin could be your ticket to a fortune. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more incredible coin stories and rare finds. Until next time, happy collecting and keep checking your change.